A few days ago, I uploaded a video about how to configure a leak map with EIGRP, and I think I realized that I forgot to, give an example about why we would want to use a leak map more than just how to configure it. So in this video, we're going to go over a use case for using a leak map for traffic engineering. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to R6, and we're going to take a look at the route that R6 is going to take to get to router 1's loopback. So we'll do show IP route. And we can see we have two different paths, which makes sense just by looking at it physically. But what we could see is that from R6, we could either go to R5 to 2 to 1, or we can go from R4 to 2 to 1. Now, all things are equal in this lab as far as interfaces go. So we're going to have, by default, some load balancing. But let's say that for, some reason, we want the traffic from R6 to R1 to go over the link from R4 instead of the link from R5. We're also going to say that this network out here beyond R2 is basically just going to be the internet. So let's say this is the internet. And what we're going to do is on R2, let me bring up a different color, we're going to configure a default route down this way and down this way. So routers 3, 4, 5, and 6 will all have a default route to get to R1. So let's go back to R2. And the first thing we're going to do is just take a quick look at our EIGRP process. So let's go ahead into router EIGRP. You can see we're under the address family IPv4 unicast for Autonomous System 100. And we have two links that we're going to want to configure the summary routes on. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do AF interface gig 125. And we'll go ahead and do a summary address here. Then we'll go into AF interface gig 1234, and we'll do that same thing. All right, perfect. So now if we take a look at R6, we can see we no longer have a route, but if we do show IP ceph, we have it in our ceph table, but we have two next hops, because again, we're going to be load balancing to the default route. This is because if we look at the routing table, again, we have both routes. So now what we're going to want to do is let's head back up to R2 and configure our leak map. All right. So now that we're back on R2, the first thing we have to do when we configure the leak map is to configure the prefix list. And we're going to call it R1 loopback. It's 5. All right. Now the next thing we got to do is configure the route map. So we'll call this leak R1 and permit 10. Then we're going to match the IP address from the prefix list, which is R1 loopback. All right. Now let's go back into EIGRP. And let's remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to advertise the leak map, and let me clear the screen. We're going to try to advertise the leak map down from R2 here, this way. Remember, that's because we want R6 to go from R6 to R4 to R2 to get to R1, and we don't want it to go this way. So we're going to advertise the link here to take advantage of longest match routing, which is, you know this from your CCNA, CCENT, basic routing is longest match. So let's go ahead to the AF interface for gig 1234. Let's go back to the summary command. We're going to configure the leak map, and the name of our route map was leak R1. All right. So now if we go back down to R6, let's do a show IP route for... All right. So now we have the route. We're learning it from gig 145, which is this link here, and we're learning it from R4, which makes sense. So if we do a ceph for 1111, there's our next hop. And we can trace to it. We can see we go from 4 to 2 to 1, which is perfect. So a leak map is a really good way to take advantage of longest match routing instead of doing, messing with EIGRP bandwidth and delay, or, let's say maybe our links from 6 to 5 are better than the links from 6 to 4, but maybe it's more expensive to send traffic that way. So we prefer traffic to go to 4, and then in the case 4 goes down, we can use R5 as the backup. And we can see that here. So let's go ahead, clear the screen again. Let's say, for example, that this link goes down. What we can do is R4.46. Let's shut the link down. So R6, in a moment, once it... oh, you know what? I forgot to... Let me shut down this link, too. Forgot that I had that link up. Okay. So what happened was I had the link between R4 and R5 still working, so the route was still coming down and being advertised. So let's go ahead to R6 and... Okay, so let me just make an X over there on the map too. All right. So now we can see that we lost the route to R1, but that's okay because we could still reach R1 through the default route. Perfect. In the ceph table, we're using the default route. So this is a use case for leak maps. Don't forget about it when doing traffic engineering. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching.